Hi, my name is Nan and welcome to Nantastic Nibbles. Today on the show we're going to make Italian wedding soup. Traditionally, this dish was served to the bride and the groom at their reception to give them a little bit of extra energy before the wedding night. It's a fun story, but it's not true. Wedding soup in English translates to married soup in Italian. Now we're not talking about the ceremony, but we're talking about the bringing together of two very different ingredients to bring forth a flavorful dish. In this case, meat and vegetables. Traditionally, the meats used would be sausage, the little tiny meatballs, perhaps some cut chicken or some tofu. For the greens, we could use endive, escarole, spinach, or kale. Come on, let's get started. This soup is so easy to make. It's a comfort food and it brings back childhood memories making this soup with my mom. We're going to break down the soup into 3 different sections before we assemble the whole soup together. So I have some turkey meatballs here that I made ahead of time, and this is the secret to the turkey meatballs. You make them ahead of time and then you boil them in water. I put them on a cookie sheet and pop them in the freezer for about 5 to 10 minutes and then take them out and put them in a plastic bag. This way, when I get home from whatever I'm doing or if I'm having a busy day or even if I have surprise guests, I can whip this soup up in no time and have my turkey meatballs ready to go. The second thing we're going to do is the recipe has a half a cup of Orzo. So with the Orzo, you're going to have a half a cup of dried Orzo, and we want to make that ahead of time before we put it into the soup. We're going to put about 4 cups of water into our pot with 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Bring it to a boil with the lid on. Remove the lid and then add your Orzo for about 10 minutes. Drain it and then cool it down right away with some cold water so it'll stop the cooking process. Wow, that was a lot of ingredients, but not to worry, that's all listed on the bottom of the page. One thing I did want to let you know, what makes my turkey meatballs a Nantastic Nibble is the 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. Really bumps up the flavor of the turkey. Let's get started with the soup. In my pot, I have 1 quart of organic chicken stock. You can use fresh or you can use box. Today we're going to use box. To this, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon. We're going to bring that to a boil. I'm going to add 1 cup of spinach. I'm going to add my Orzo. I'm going to take my 2 eggs that I have and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of cheese. Now, why am I adding the cheese to the egg? Usually when you put cheese into a hot liquid, it winds up getting very stringy. This way it'll flavor the eggs and it'll stop it from getting stringy in the pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a whirlpool in the pot and get that soup swimming around in a circle, and then we're just going to drizzle the egg right in. We're going to add our Nantastic Nibble meatballs. And we're going to cover this and we're just going to let it settle for about 1 minute. So we've let the soup sit for a minute. So guess what? We're finished. We're ready to serve. We're ready to eat. So I'm just going to take the lid off and I'm just going to put some in a bowl for you. Make sure that you get the meatballs in because they're the best part, and lots of broth. And then I always like to sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese. And I also at the end like to sprinkle a little bit of parsley. From my heart to your table, enjoy. And I know you're going to enjoy this soup, so please subscribe to my channel and we'll see you next time for another Nantastic Nibble.